We're talking some of your favorite bets on the DK Sportsbook for tonight's NHL slate. So, Geoff, let's start us off. Which moneyline bet do you like tonight?
Yeah, I'm definitely liking the Dallas Stars tonight. They were a team I kind of had my eye on last night, like the over there, and I still kind of like the over, although the total is now up to 6. But if you look at the Stars, they're down to minus 141 here on the money line. They were a little bit shorter last night, and obviously coming off a loss, but they got 39 goals or 39 shots on goal, in a 4-2 loss. They only scored 2 goals, but they did get 39 shots on goal. Look, the Blackhawks just aren't a good defensive team. You look at things like expected goal rate. It's just a big, wide gap between these two teams. If Dallas gets any goaltending, they should bounce back here. The top line has been playing well. So I think you're getting really good value to go minus 141 here on the Dallas Stars here on the money line.
AJ, where are you going on the money line?
I really like the Oilers tonight at minus 110 matchup with the Canadiens. Edmonton averaging 4 goals a night over the last 5 contests. They're powered by the top offensive players in the league. And on the back end, Mike Smith undefeated in his previous 4 appearances, 3-0-0 over that stretch, 1.85 goals against average. And look, on the other side of the ice, you get Jake Allen, winless in his last 3 contests, sporting a 3.42 goals against average. They're still going to be without Danault Gallagher, and Price and Weber as well. So still pretty banged up at Montreal squad there.
All right, AJ, which underdog are you going to be backing tonight?
I think you have to be looking at the Lightning, right? Coming in at plus 112. I know the Panthers have been really good this year, but you've got the potential Vezina Trophy winner set to be in goal in Andrei Vasilevsky. Look, I know the Cats just hung 5 goals on him, but I look for this to be a bounce back game. The forward depth obviously is super thin for the Lightning, which is a concern. You know, Kucherov, Stamkos still unavailable. Patrick Maroon suspended now. Barclay Gaudreau set to miss out as well. So I've just given you all the reasons not to be on the Lightning, but I still think they're at plus value on them. You have to give them a look whenever Andrei Vasilevsky is in goal.
Yeah, Geoff, which underdog are you going to be looking at?
Yeah, I really like the Devils here. Basically, whenever the Flyers are set as kind of bigger favorites, and right now the Flyers are around minus 150 on the DraftKings Sportsbook, I like taking the other side. But the Devils are a really interesting team. You know, these young teams down the stretch, they may not have much to play for in the standings, but this Devils squad, I mean, all these guys are trying to prove themselves for next year. So every game does still matter to a team like New Jersey. You know, they've beaten the Bruins in their last few games. They're coming off a series against the Flyers a couple of weeks ago where they took 3 or 4 games and outscored, just piled up the goals every night. I think this is a great matchup for the Devils power play to get going, which hasn't been good, admittedly. But again, it really just comes down to a value thing. The Devils have been the better team over the last month. You're getting the Flyers, who stink, one of the worst, if not the worst, goaltending duo and defensive team in hockey with terrible special teams at favorite status that they should just never be at. So I like the Devils at plus 133 on the money line.
All right, Geoff, is there a total tonight that you saw that just really caught your eye?
Yeah, I like attacking the under here in the Edmonton Oilers and Montreal Canadiens game. It's always a little bit, sketchy when you're talking about the Oilers and the under because they have a terrific offense, but you just look at the Canadiens here. They can't score goals. I mean, they've scored more than 3 goals once in their last 10 games. This is just not an offense that's clicking in any way, shape, or fashion. AJ mentioned Mike Smith playing well here. And then you look at the history between these two teams. The Canadiens have actually done a pretty good job of clamping down on the Oilers this year. 5 of the 7 meetings between these two teams have seen 5 goals or less already. And the fact we're getting a 6-figure here, I mean, yeah, we might get the push, but again, you're asking which side is more likely to go under or over. I would much rather be on the under here. Canadians offense just not clicking in any fashion. If they can clamp down the Oilers, even just maybe keep them to 4 goals, I mean, you could definitely see some kind of 4-1 win here. So I like the underside a lot in that Edmonton-Montreal game.
AJ, which total really caught your eye?
I think the over at 5.5 for the Islanders Bruins tonight. You're getting value at plus 120 on the DK Sportsbook. And, they've got 2 defensively sound teams. I get that, but you have the perfection line in Boston that's always capable of racking up some points. And Anthony Beauvillier, Justin Bailey, and Brock Nelson have combined for 6 goals and 11 assists in their previous 5 contests. These guys are capable of scoring on their own as well. And I really think it's a good opportunity with the over-under being that low at 5.5. I think you have to take the over there. Plus, you're getting a little value on it as well.
All right, AJ, what's your favorite overall bet? This could be a total, a prop, whatever. Your favorite overall bet in the NHL tonight?
I'm going to take a look at the alternate puck lines for that Edmonton Montreal matchup tonight. You can get Edmonton minus a goal and a half at plus 225. I like the value there. I think they're overmatched for the Habs and potentially a big win. Look, if you're willing to take on even a little bit more risk, don't sleep on Edmonton minus 2.5 at plus 420. I mean, they're totally capable of just going in, lighting up the Habs and making this a one-sided contest. So I'm actually going to take the higher of the two. I think Edmonton minus 2.5 is fantastic value. If you don't want to take that risk, though, minus 1.5 for the Oilers, I think is a good spot as well.
Geoff, what about you? What's your favorite overall bet?
Yeah, I'm going to go to the player props and look at Joe Pavelski's over total in the shots on goal. He's sitting at over 2.5 is plus 130 right now. Pavelski's averaging about 2.8, 2.9 shots on goal over his last 10 starts. I mentioned that the Stars got 39 shots on goal on the Blackhawks last night. The Blackhawks still allow the most shots on goal per game in the league. This is a great matchup. You've got a couple guys banged up, possibly sitting for the Stars. It just would mean perhaps more opportunity for Pavelski to get that shot through. So realistically, whenever he's kind of got the plus money, you should always be thinking about it because he's been very consistent in this regard. But I really like the over, especially against Chicago tonight with Pavelski.
All right, Geoff, before we let you go, we're going to switch to DFS really quick and have you give us your favorite DFS play for tonight.
Yeah, I like stacking that Winnipeg Jets top line tonight. I know Kyle Connor's been cold, but Blake Wheeler's starting to get it going a bit with Mark Scheifele. They're taking on the Canucks, which is the really big attraction here. The Jets just need a win to close out their season here. Big time. I like attacking that Winnipeg Jets top line a lot.
AJ, your favorite DFS play for tonight?
Ryan Nugent Hopkins at 5,600 tonight. He's playing on the wing of Leon Draisaitl. Features on the number one power play. Yes, I get he's goalless in his last 6 contests, but I think that's only going to serve to lower his drafted percentage and lower the price point. His shot rate is high enough to warrant the risk that the slump is going to end eventually, and I think that time is tonight.